All right. All right. Yep, we are now recording. All right, sweet. Hello, everyone. We are here joined today by Jesus Pine Jr., and he is from Breaking Bigfoot, and my name is Scott Martin from Paranormal Awakening. Mr. Pine, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Good to see you working in your laboratory.
Yep, this is my laboratory. Got my robots behind me. They're, working away.
Nice. So, as Scott here mentioned, that I'm from the channel, the YouTube channel Breaking Bigfoot. For those who do know me and those who don't know me, of course, I'm from Breaking Bigfoot, and yeah, we're here to discuss today a few topics on Sasquatch. Paranormal Awakening, his channel, uh, covers that within that topic of the paranormal. So he covers a whole range of different things: ghosts, UFOs, conspiracies, Sasquatch, and a whole different menagerie of cryptids as well that fall into the realm of the paranormal. My channel, Breaking Bigfoot, focuses on Sasquatch research, but does touch upon the correlations between the paranormal and Sasquatch. So tell me, Scott, what got you interested in the Bigfoot phenomenon?
Well, I'd say about a little bit over a year or two ago, I was talking to a group of researchers. I started watching their show before I joined their team, and then they got in contact with you, and so I was a little bit new. Probably I'm still about 2 years new. So I guess you can still say I'm still a beginner, an apprentice, if you will. And so I kind of dove right into the interest of this topic, and I'm still going at it after two years, barely even knowing what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden everything starts showing up. It starts showing up for you, even if you're a beginner. It will show up for you. It just takes time to get used to it. It's weird, It's not like, oh, you just walk out and start seeing things. You got to start researching. You got to know where to look for things, and then it all starts to open up. It's like its own little world. Like many, there's many findings that people get, and it's really awesome. And then there's other pictures where it's, blurry, but there's still something there. But that's because there's so much going on in one bit. Like you're trying to move to take a picture of something, and then it's really complex. It's like a sport within a sport.
Right. Let me ask you one question. At what point, what was the defining moment that really, I guess, would say, pushed you over the edge to saying or being able to say that you not believe Bigfoot is real, that you officially know that it's an actual being, creature? What made you say, I know Bigfoot's real, I'm not questioning it anymore?
Well, funny you ask that because in Lake Tahoe, I was at a lake that's about a few miles off of Lake Tahoe because they have a whole bunch of lakes in that area. I forgot the name. I don't have it right now, but it's I think it's called Donner Lake if I'm correct. And so it's a very historical lake, very cool bridges. I was just there filming drone stuff, and that was kind of right after we interviewed you on my friend's show. And so when we interviewed you after that, I kind of got interested into the topic. So I started taking pictures of nature, pictures of wildlife. And so in one picture, I sent it to you because there's a giant X mark. You still remember that? I can probably dig it up and I'll still be able to find it, but it's a giant X mark. You can see the X mark clearly, and you can see the rock. And then next to the rock, you can see a giant Bigfoot, probably 6 to 8 feet tall. And I remember I did see something moving. My dad was there with me, but you know, my parents aren't really big into it, but as much as I am. But it's really crazy because when I was looking at that picture, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually caught him. Like I literally saw him right there with my own eyes. And since then, you get a more stranger feeling of being able to actually see them more often because it makes you more aware of your knowledge of knowing that they're actually there.
Right. So for all the of our viewers out there right now, the reason why we're doing this video is for those people in the Bigfoot community, just like this young man right here, may be new to the community. Okay, you may have read about it for years, known about it for years, in passing, going through all these different subjects, but there's a lot of you that are new to the actual research. And when I say research, I'm talking about going into the field, actually taking the time, going beyond just YouTube to learn about Sasquatch, actually jumping on the internet, looking up reports, interviewing people, uh, doing stuff like that, being in the field, gifting, all these different things that are involved with it. Okay. There is a lack of quote unquote leadership in the Bigfoot community. It's because this topic and subject is so, I guess, fringe, and really doesn't have structure to it. There's a whole bunch of these people out there that are researchers, that aren't researchers, that are fans, that are just interested in it. That on a platform like any social media platform, you can state your opinion, but you can also say a lot of other things that make no sense or are just rude or mean or bullying. It goes on. We'll talk about all that in a second. I'm just explaining what we're doing here, why we're doing it. So we're going to cover a bunch of different topics, also different research techniques, why certain people are doing certain things, who we can trust in this field, who we can look up to for information. Uh, so that's what we're covering right now. I have 21 years of research experience in the field and out of the field. And before that, I've been researching it since the early 80s. So I have quite a bit of knowledge in this field. And this young man here has just begun. With the cool thing is, though, if we don't abuse the positions we're in, those of us that do know it and know what's going on and how to share this knowledge. Yes, there is no official expert, whatever you want to think that is. Does that mean a PhD in Sasquatchology? Does that mean you sat down with the Sasquatch and asked them questions? There's no exact terminology for the explanation of calling someone an expert, but you've got to understand that there are individuals in this field that do know a lot about this, that have put in the time and the research. So that's what I'm gearing towards when I say, who are the authorities in this field? Who do we go to when we're doubting something or we don't know something or there's a hoax, a myth possibly? What are their opinions? So those are the topics we're going to be covering today, and more that I didn't name. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to my young colleague here and let him choose the topic out of the list, and we will talk about it, discuss it, give our opinions, and here we go.
Well, kind of going off of what you were saying about, knowing your facts and knowing who to trust. There is a course by UCLA. I know this is going off topic of Sasquatch a little bit, but UCLA is just opening up their UFOlogy course. So maybe that can be an accredited source towards that specific topic. But going back on track to Bigfoot and Sasquatch, I think that the people with the most knowledge that has actually had these encounters, for instance, you yourself, would be a credibility source. And on top of that, people that have actual stories and evidence. And you don't need a TV show to go out and film Bigfoot or Sasquatch because anyone can dress up as Bigfoot or Sasquatch and say that they saw what they saw. But that's all TV show and that's all Hollywood and all that, you know. But for us independent researchers, when you're out there alone by yourself, it's a whole different ball game than being out there with a crew of 10 to 20 people. Because if I recall, you've been interviewed on a documentary. I think it was probably a year or two ago, if I remember correctly. And so it's a lot different being, on your own compared to with a group of other people because of what you experience versus what they experience, and or experiencing anything at all. Because when you're alone, you can experience more things, and somebody else can't say, "Oh, that was a lie," or "That was the truth." It's you because you're there. And I know there's shows like there's a TV show where this guy survives on his own. He documents everything that he does, such as killing animals, on his own. And I think it's a very interesting thing that, a lot of these independent researchers that, go researching and do Bigfoot research get a lot of hate for the content that they do. And, people saying that it's hoaxing or whatever. You can't hoax anything if you're alone, right? Like they showed proof that they're alone. They drive in a car by themselves, go out into the hills, and film. And for instance, when you were in, I think it was somewhere in the New Mexico desert, I remember in one of your films, you were filming a Sasquatch, literally like miles and miles, and the time that you got out there, it was already gone.
Yeah. Well, see, now you're in college.
Yeah.
So name one of your courses that you're taking. Anyone, it doesn't matter.
Uh, Criminal behavior.
Okay. So in that class, you have a professor, correct?
Yep.
If you're studying criminal behavior and you have a question about a topic in criminal behavior, who do you go to ask for that information, that knowledge?
You would go to the professor in that case.
So what I'm going for right now is, say you're new to the field, or even you're not new to the field, but you have, who do you go to? Who do you listen to for information and idea? Like, um, you know, just information about Sasquatch. The social behavior of Sasquatch. Do you listen to just 1,000 random people in a Bigfoot group? Do you know? You don't know. The majority of the people we don't even know. We don't know who's just talking crap, who's putting up fake information.
Exactly.
Okay, so in my mind, it would make sense that we figure out who are the most knowledgeable, the most dependable, and consistent people in the field that we can look towards. You don't have to physically ask them, but that we can follow their research, what they've said, and use that to kind of guide us on this, adventure, you could say, into Sasquatch research. All right. Um, there's a whole bunch of people that don't know. There's a lot of YouTubers that are researchers out there that collect evidence. There's a difference between just collecting evidence of your own and only knowing what you've experienced versus researching and studying all the experiences you can get a hold of. Is there any PhDs? Is there any biologists, that are out there that have studied this phenomenon? Yeah, there is. Unfortunately, we're losing them because they're getting older and older. We just lost Dr. John Bendernagel. He was a wildlife biologist. He studied the Sasquatch phenomenon in the field and out for 50 years. That's a long time. Okay. We have Dr. Jeff Meldrum from Ohio State University. He is an anthropologist. He made his specialty is the human anatomy and morphology of feet, and he studies the morphology of Sasquatch prints. That's what's been left. He's been out in the field. Okay, you have Dr. Chris, also another anthropologist from a university. that is studying, and researchers have been doing it for years now, and was part of the Genome Project, that was held to, figure out what the heck is Bigfoot, you know? So when you have these individuals that are available to us, we need to utilize them. I'm I'm studying everything that they've got. I'm working with these guys, of course, besides those who have passed. But I'm doing this because I do want to take this research and the Sasquatch information that we're sharing with everybody, giving it some structure and a place to go to learn about this being, you know? So that's what I think would be the smartest thing to do. If we're questioning some sort of evidence or video or anything, did those individuals see it? Have they looked at it? Have they analyzed it? If they have, what was their opinion? And we should value their opinion because it's an informed opinion, which we all can get together if we do the actual research and work hard at this and not just listen to the next Yahoo that just wants to talk crap in a Facebook group or a whatever group. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's what I have to say on that part of that topic of who do we go to? Who do we trust? Who do we learn from?
Yeah. And kind of going off on that, there is one question that is really interesting that I think we all do experience for those of us that do go out into the woods and go out into the field, such as tree knocks and, hearing calls and howls and all of the above. But the one question that we should all look for is, does Bigfoot have a ability to speak, or do they have their own language, or is it even a language at all, like you and I? Like you and I are having a conversation right now, but is it just like, or is it like actually talking? Because there's a difference between talking and hitting a tree. There's like when you go to a restaurant and you talk to the waiter, they say, "Hey, can I take your order?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'd like mac and cheese with salad or whatever." And then, but when you're contacting Bigfoot, you can't say, "Hey, I'd like a Bigfoot with a baby Bigfoot." You can't just say that. That's not how it works. So the question is, do they have their own language?
Well, let me ask you this first before I give my answer. Okay. Do you think they have the physical capability, the correct machinery for speech versus like a bear's noise or ooh ah ah whatever, but actual verbiage that they can say?
Well, I can tell you this. I think that since they're an interdimensional creature, that they might talk through the mind. They might have some sort of capability with that, but they use the tree knocks as one way of communicating with another, whether it's for mating or for.
Actual physical speech. That the dimensional thing would fall under paranormal stuff. Okay, we're talking about actual physical speech where they say words. Do you think
Well, if it's through words like us,
just like us, can they do that?
it
Let's
would
see.
it would possibly be very interesting to hear that because there's such a strange creature that, like, I don't even know if they would understand English, but as far as the language that they speak of their own, I couldn't picture what it would sound like, but I would assume that they would have their own
So
language because birds whistle and dogs bark and cats meow. So I'm assuming they'd have.
it's not speech. Remember, it's just a yes or no question. Do you think they can talk or not? Yes or no?
Most likely. So yeah.
So the thing is with like great apes, okay, out there around the world, their actual vocal cords and the way their throats are made or grown, whatever you want to say, makes it impossible for them to speak like us. Okay. Sasquatch now, of course, we don't have the Sasquatch to open up and look at, But if you personally or somebody else has been in the field and heard them speak, those people will say, yeah, they speak. I've heard them speak. Not a lot or nothing, but word here, word there. Um, if you go back to ancient stories, um, especially with the Native American world, in their histories, they do talk. They conversed with these beings in their own language, speaking. These beings, which I believe are a type of humans, they do have the capability of speech, and they're really good at mimicking as well. And for the language issue is depending on what country they're in, obviously, wherever they are living or have been habitating for thousands of years, they have a lot of time to watch us. They have a lot of time to listen to us. They're very, very intelligent creatures. So if they're watching campers every day, for the last 100 years, if a camper says, food's ready and holds up food, they get a good idea what food is. Just by watching, they can learn. You know, some of them, like I said, the report says they can speak English. It may not be the best English, but they do understand what we're saying. A lot of them, for the most part. Okay, so being that they have speech, I think that's a huge telltale sign of whether they are just big old ape monkeys. Of course, monkeys have tails and apes don't, but you know what I mean. Or they are a form of human. Okay. What's the next topic you'd like to choose?
Oh, well, one of them was paranormal Sasquatch. So,
Okay. Let you lead with that one.
all right. So, one being is that would he be classified as paranormal or is he classified as an actual species? Because, you know, when it comes to species, we all understand that people are species, and then monkeys and etc. And I was talking to someone about Bigfoot, and they were saying how Bigfoot is technically Sasquatch, but Bigfoot is another name for it. And then they said that they were just another species of a monkey. So I really don't know what to put as far as that goes. But when it comes to paranormal Sasquatch, that's where it becomes interesting.
So the way I would suggest you look at it is now, if you have a human being that allegedly has the ability to read minds, tell the future, um, teleport, whatever, it would be a human with psychic or paranormal abilities. So Sasquatch is a species of being, a grade 8. It is a physical creature. Now, the question is out there, does Sasquatch possess paranormal abilities? Okay, which that would enter you to the world of paranormal Sasquatch. Does only some of them have those abilities? Just like how you have shamans. Not everybody in the tribe was able to do what shamans were able to do on the paranormal side of things. So if Sasquatch is a human and they have tribes and clans and they have medicine men or their holy ones or whatever you want to call them, priests, medicine men, shamans, etc., are those the ones that are able to do it? Okay. So some of the things that are associated with the paranormal side of Sasquatch, which in the Bigfoot community calls the woo, okay, we refer to as the woo, is like you mentioned earlier, mind speak, mental telepathy, the ability to go in and out of dimensions, the ability to um, hypnotize or paralyze people, the also the connection with UFOs, and aliens, or is there a connection? Now, they also have been purported to have cloaking abilities so that they're there, but it's pretty much like from the movie Predator, they can become transparent. They're still there, but they're
Oh, there is no doubt in my mind that they can do that. Like, as much as some people might disagree with that, I think they might have that capability because, the military has some crazy technology that I'm sure of that can do the same thing. Because there's a YouTube video that someone has an invisible shield, that can make themselves invisible, so that there should be no reason why that Bigfoot would have that same ability.
Now, here's something I throw at you to ponder. Is that a technology? Are the military paranormal or is it technology? What's the difference between the two? How
Exactly.
just how deep and how much they do know that we don't know about. We don't know about Sasquatch more than what we've, you know, experienced. We haven't had a Sasquatch sit down and tell us. We haven't had the military tell us what they know. We just don't know. So we're trying to figure that out. Um, now, a huge problem or issue in the Bigfoot community is certain researchers or people that like watching YouTube on it or whatever, they think that Sasquatch is just a large ape, animal. Nothing human about it whatsoever. Okay. Then you have the individuals that think that Sasquatch is a human of some sort, has speech, is intellectual, bury their dead. Okay. And then you have the other group that believe it has paranormal abilities. Okay. Now, you'll have the ones that believe they're just apes calling the ones that think it's a human stupid, crazy, ridiculous. You're not using, common sense or logic, right? Then
Exactly.
you have people out there that call the ones that just think it's a great ape. They think they're crazy because they say Bigfoot doesn't exist. It's not real. There's no evidence, even though there's a preponderance of evidence, just a lack of acceptance of said evidence by the official scientific community.
Well,
Okay.
also going off of evidence, if you don't mind if I cut you off for a little bit, but going off of evidence on the Federal Bureau of Investigation on their website on National Geographic, they have picture evidence of hair that they took from an actual Bigfoot or Sasquatch, however you prefer to call it, and I could probably post a link somewhere, and it'll be there, and it's really crazy to look at because they have it right there, but yet they hide it from us. So if you'd like to continue with what you're saying.
So now there's researchers out there that are trying to prove Bigfoot is real. Okay. That's going to be really hard because even with evidence, scat, hair, pictures, video, footprints, fingerprints, toe prints, DNA, they still say, nope, I'm not going to believe it till I see it in front of me. So no matter what we do, people are going to pull that crap. Okay. And I honestly think it's a waste of time trying to prove to people. No, what we should be doing is moving forward, continue our research, and just present our evidence and build up that evidence, that database of all these different things. Because eventually, when people can't argue with it whatsoever, we haven't spent all this time stuck going, but it's real. No, we've already done so much research and investigation into this being that and not wasted time with hearsay and people whining and yelling hoax and all this stuff, we actually can get somewhere with this, you know, because so much time is wasted with that crap. And we don't even know who's been sent to initiate the doubts, to initiate, all this ridiculous nonsense that we deal with within the Bigfoot community, you know? So that's it's a really important thing that we stop that nonsense and just worry about collecting data and collecting evidence, you know?
Exactly. And I think that, the more that we collect this evidence, then the more we have to prove when it comes time to actually prove it. But as long as you keep arguing and keep saying, "Oh, this is what I found. This is what I found," no one's gonna care. No one's gonna care, and then people are gonna get tired of it. People are gonna get bored of it. It's like playing video games. If you play the same video game over and over and trying to beat the same level, you're gonna get bored of it. But on another sense, when it comes to research, when you take a picture of a Bigfoot, go out there and walk out there, see if there's any footprints, see if there's, you know, maybe some pieces of hair, maybe some stuff that you can find as far as fingerprints, broken branches, etc. But uh, moving off of that topic onto another topic that I think is another thing that is more important, well, not more important, equally as important, is that we need, configure those people that talk trash about other people that do their own work. Even I get talk trash too, and there's many other people out there like ourselves that probably get trash talked to. But I think it's very strange that regardless of someone's work, just like the content. If you don't like their content, then don't say anything at all. You don't need to say something and start a huge world war. It's only gonna crash everything and bring everything down. You don't need to say something to someone like if you think of it like racing, if the guy that you don't like gets in first place, say, "Hey, congratulations, dude, you got in first place." It's not rocket science. Like I say to people all the time, "Great work." I don't even know them, and they post in a group, and I say, "Dude, great work." Like it's not really that hard to say something nice. You might be the nicest person in the world and can still say something mean about something, but it's like you don't need to do that because
So
we're all in
what
the
you're
same community.
kind of saying is that old saying, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Exactly.
So now, if you want to give your opinion, say, um, let's go on the topic of the uh, blurry pictures, blob squatches. Um, if you don't think that's quality evidence or you don't think that's anything Sasquatchy, okay, that's your choice, your prerogative. Rather than attacking the person that has their own reasons for believing that might be a Sasquatch in one form or another, just say I can't get there. I don't understand what you're seeing. You know, and there you go. That's it. That's all you got to say. You ain't got to be mean. You don't have to talk crap to people. Because then like the analogy of the race car driver, you're watching a race car or NASCAR or whatever, and your guy that you like didn't win. If you don't like him, then move on. You ain't got to say something. You don't go to that guy and be like, "Yeah, you're butter, you're stupid, you're dumb." Yeah, this childish nonsense. Okay. I deal with that crap. It's like they wouldn't say it to my face in person, of course, but on the internet, everybody's just a tough guy. You know,
Oh, exactly.
I call them the internet bullies. Uh, I don't have to be a bully in real life or out, in the internet or wherever. Okay, and I'm a big dude, and scary and tattooed and all kinds of fun that would allow me to bully people. I don't do that. Okay. Um, on the topic of hoaxes, okay, let's jump to hoaxes. Yes, there has been hoaxes for sure. Okay, and there has been hoaxes that have been proven. All right. Now, when you have proven hoaxes, scream hoax all day. Proven, proven. Like when that Bigfoot body was in the frozen ice chest. It turned out it was
I remember that. I remember that.
possum guts or something in a suit. That was a proven hoax. When that gentleman, in the 50s, I believe, or 60s, well, both, because he's been carving wooden Bigfoot tracks, was wearing them on his feet, running around leaving tracks. He admitted it. Okay, the wooden tracks were found. His children brought him out. Said, "Oh, it was my dad." Those are proven hoaxes. Okay. Now, we may not like whatsoever certain researchers. There's a bunch of jerks out there. There's researchers out there that are complete, just unlikable people. And there's researchers out there that are very lovely, sweet, caring people, man or woman. Okay. Now, regardless of how you look at that person, all right, regardless, if they present evidence that has nothing to do with their persona, or if you like their job, or whatever, okay? So again, I fall back to people that are calling hoaxers. Do you have the evidence of hoax? Or are you just following a crowd, being a sheeple because other people are yelling, hoax, hoax? What evidence do you have of said hoax? Is it just hearsay? Oh, well, I heard that this person did this. Well, I heard, well, this person knows somebody in the film industry. Well, I heard. That's not evidence.
Exactly.
All. Now, if somebody presents really good footage, they scream hoax because it's too good. Somebody presents really good pictures, they scream hoax because it's too good. Somebody presents a blurry picture, it's too blurry. It doesn't matter what people are presenting. There's a group of individuals within all these Bigfoot communities that automatically, just for shits and giggles, it seems, scream hoax just to instigate. And there's a whole bunch of other researchers or people that are interested in it that have no idea what's going on, and they just jump on the train. And the dangerous thing about that, okay, without any actual evidence of a hoax, regardless of what opinions all these people have, it's not a hoax until proven. And it's not officially can be considered for science until also there's evidence viable enough to be scientifically tested. But we shouldn't throw out the possibility of the reality of this evidence on mere bullcrap, rumors, assumptions, hearsay. That's conjecture. Okay. I recently threw a post out in some Bigfoot groups asking about Dr. John Bendernagel, asking how many people here would trust his knowledge, that would uh, value his opinion on any evidence. Would you value it? Would you say, you know what? I would give this, whatever it is, the benefit of the doubt, since these individuals, these academics, said, yeah, this is genuine, versus you that's never seen it. Not I mean you, brother, but I mean the person that's trying to decide if something's a hoax or not. You haven't seen it, you haven't touched it, you you're nothing near it. You haven't been to the location, no. But you want to scream hoax. 99% of all the people and out of all the groups that I posted that to said yes, they would trust him. 1% said no, that he wasn't credible because he said someone's evidence he believed from what he's seen, what he was shown, is real. And those people that said that, they don't trust his word because of that. Have never done any research, have never been in that place, never seen all the evidence. Think about that. Yeah,
I I agree. I think that's very interesting that you bring that up. That that those people that sit there and talk, they don't do the work. And I tell people that all the time that talk to me. I'm like, talk to me when you bring the work.
yeah,
And it's not that hard to go walk out into your backyard or well, I should say your backyard, but to a woody type area. I have a woody area in my backyard, so I can say it's my backyard because it's a woody area. It's a giant forest. But yeah, I think that's one thing that's really interesting is that if you can't disprove your own work, then you shouldn't talk at all. I mean, I'm not saying that you can give your own thoughts. You can have your own thoughts, but
An informed opinion.
yeah, but an informed, exactly.
Yeah, it's like I know you, but other people don't know you. You know, um, your research, I'm familiar with it. It would be unfair for somebody that doesn't know you, does not know your research or anything, to start calling you a hoaxer.
Exactly.
They don't know. You know, it's all assumptions, and we lose so much possible good evidence because people are scared to be ridiculed. They will latch on to the crowd's opinion just because they don't want to. They want to be part of them. They want to be congratulated and pat on the back for agreeing. You know,
Well,
and
as far as me with my evidence, I just share it just to share it. I don't need no like on Facebook or on YouTube. I don't care. I don't ask for likes. Like I just enjoy sharing it. That's all that matters.
well, exactly like with my work. Okay, I'm not doing this to impress nobody. I've done and accomplished all the things I've ever set out to do in life. Right now, I'm doing what I love. I am making a legacy. Um, I want to make something that my children can read in a book. When I'm gone, my grandchildren can know about me and their
And me too.
my research. Everything that I present, I'm presenting for anybody to learn from. Um, if my research is turns out it's good enough for uh, to be put in anthropology, history, great. My research, actually is going to be in scientific journals. It's already in the process because of who I'm working with right now with different universities and anthropologists doing this. They've come to me for this information for my research, and I am happy to help. If people don't believe me, I don't care. If they think that because I was in the film industry, I'm a hoaxer, I don't care. I was a stuntman and an actor, you know? But through ignorance, people will automatically just connect, oh, he knows people in the film industry. Oh, it's all a hoax. I don't care at all. If you guys want to learn from us or from me, please do. If you think that I'm full of crap and I'm making this stuff up, don't waste your time watching. Don't waste your time reading. And especially, don't waste my personal time trying to reach out to me to tell me that you don't believe me.
Exactly. And
Don't waste your
honestly, I think that's really well said because like there's no point in starting a pointless argument over nothing when you can have more time to go do something or to do your own research too. So I think that was a really well said the way that you put that.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other topics we haven't touched?
Uh, no, I think we covered everything. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. Wait a second. Bigfoot herd opinion mentality and the harm it causes to real research and progress. Did we cover that?
Yes, we covered that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, we covered that. So I think we have covered it all.
Okay. So now we're going to go off script, okay, for a minute. Going off script. All right. So I want to summarize what we do know about Sasquatch, okay? One, it's real. What evidence do we have? DNA, hair, scat, some small flesh samples, saliva, footprints, handprints, butt prints, body prints, and yes, there has been bodies found, but unfortunately, that's been pushed under the rug, um, or taken from the powers that be. There is speech of Sasquatch. We have vocalizations recorded. We have them talking recorded. We have video of them. We have photos of them. Now we're in a court, right? And somebody was being charged with a crime. With all the evidence we have from Sasquatch, if he was the criminal, he'd have enough to convict, you know? Now, what does the community want to do with this information? Do they want to go past those things that we already have and start moving on to the social behavior? Do we want to go towards the paranormal side of it? Do we want to? There's many different avenues we can go. Choose yours, focus on it, and then share your findings with each other. You know, there's just so many different avenues to take towards researching Bigfoot. And that's why I say we need some sort of structure out there in this community where people can go to get a good idea what to do. I know we didn't cover gifting.
Oh, it was. I didn't see it written down, but yes, that
Okay,
is an important topic.
some people don't know what gifting is. All right. Gifting would be when you leave Sasquatch food or gifts, a feather, a blue marble, a whatever, just trinkets, to see if you can get them to interact with you. Now, there's problems with that, and there's cool things with that. One, if you're going to leave food for Sasquatch, know that other animals are going to find it too. So you don't want to leave food that's going to make other animals besides Sasquatch sick or kill them. Okay. What I recommend, if you want to leave peanut butter, leave it on the wood of the tree itself. Okay. Or something biodegradable, not plastic. Other animals can eat that and die. Don't leave the jar there. I know you want to see a Bigfoot open the lid, but no, we don't want to leave anything in our forest that will kill other animals. Okay? Apples, corn, sweet onions, berries, uh, stuff like that. Leave that stuff. They like that stuff. Fish, they love that stuff. Okay? Um, when you have a gifting spot, if they don't take the food or whatever you left there, don't leave it there for eons. Pick it up, clean it, try something else. Don't leave trinkets that are going to hurt other animals. I mentioned in a post, a week ago that I came upon an area. I know that somebody was trying to gift Bigfoot, but they left so much crap there that it looked like a homeless shelter. And the trash was going down into the road. Vienna sausage cans everywhere in the road. We're not here to pollute the forest. That's Sasquatch's home. If you have any respect for these creatures, pick up after yourself. Think about what you're leaving there. They have babies, they have children. Do you leave that kind of stuff around a newborn or a 3-year-old? Beads
Definitely
and
not.
little marbles and all that stuff? No, that wouldn't be too smart. You might kill one of them. Think about that stuff, guys. Do experiments, but just be smart about it. Think about it. What are the ramifications? What other animals could be affected by that in that area? You can still do it, but just do it smart. That's all I'm suggesting. I'm not nobody's boss. Nobody has to do anything I say to do. I'm just trying to give some kind of guidance, common sense to all of you future researchers, all you current researchers, and people out there that just want to know about Bigfoot. So that's my spiel.
Awesome. I do agree with that 100%. And on top of that, definitely don't leave anything behind that, you know, could also hurt, like, such as scissors or whatever people bring out there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end this with of course, Squatch be with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe Paranormal Awakening. This is going to be posted to his channel. I'm also going to post this to my channel, Breaking Bigfoot. Like and subscribe if you haven't. If you agree with this at all, share it. Share it with your groups. Share it on your Facebooks.
Uh-oh. We cut out, I think. Hold on, guys. We lost him for a second. I have no idea where he just. Oh, there we go. I was about to message you and say we lost you, but looks like you're back. Welcome back.
Hey, I had a Sasquatch calling me and had to answer, but I let
What did
him
he did?
middle of.
Did he say anything about cleaning up the forest?
Yeah, it said that I better have dinner ready and don't forget to pick them up at work after they get off work. But yeah, like I was saying, like, subscribe, share this information if you agree with it. If you don't, like and subscribe anyway. And yeah, take care out there. Thanks for doing this with me, Scott. I appreciate you.
Same
And
to you.
this one, there'll be many more to come. And keep up the good research, keep up the work. Don't take any of these silly goofballs to heart. They want to mess with
Oh,
us.
they're nothing. They're just dirt in the ground.
Exactly. So you have a great one, everybody. Take care. Breaking Bigfoot out. Paranormal Awakening out.
Yep.